What's up, Authentic fam? Welcome back to Authentic Alphas. It's your boy Iende. So today I'm gonna share with you guys a live stream that I was fortunate enough to be able to put together for Miss Chantel Simone. So she has a pretty dope channel. It's like reality based, it's honesty based, it's logic, and that's unique from females. As we know, that's really hard to get that type of thinking or that perspective from women, something that's logical, makes sense, truthful, factual, regardless of how uncomfortable it might be. So
Men are saying they're getting their passports to go find a wife overseas. And instead of looking within and asking, what is it about us why these men don't want to wife us? We would much rather shame them and talk about back child support.
What?
And this is exactly why men are getting their passports. Too many of us have been brainwashed by the feminist movement. We have put men's wants and needs on the back burner. And enough is enough.
We will not have it.
They are finding themselves wives who were raised traditionally, who know the roles and responsibility and know how to submit and to treat a man with respect.
shout out to Chantel Simone. She's been having those uncomfortable conversations, talking about the black community, talking about men and women, and the issues that's current in the dating market and in the marriage market and in the sexual market and all the markets that have to do with men and women. So I was just looking through some of her recent video titles, and they were kind of like talking about the whole passport bros and guys getting their passport situation. And the videos are all kind of, obviously from a female perspective, and I imagine most of her followers are also female. So I kind of was seeing the titles like, women are mad that men are getting their passport.
Y'all baby mama say, y'all better sit y'all ragged asses down because you owe back child support. And they don't let y'all get no passports. So it don't look like y'all going nowhere. So you might want to sit down and be content and do right and find you a black girl right here in this great United States.
So, quick question for this ignorant broad. What about the men who don't have back child support? Are we just going to assume that every man have back child support?
Are you stupid or something?
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who you think needs to hear a logical perspective.
It's like, why are black men getting passports, that kind of stuff. So I said, hold on, let me hit up Chantel and see if I can chime in on this. And she said she definitely wanted to have the discussion. So I said, let me talk to some of the bros. Let me get some other guys on this so that you can get a more well-rounded feedback from, multiple black men rather than just myself. I'm just one person, one dude. It could just be my personal opinion. So I thought it'd be more valuable if I got some other guys to talk about it, like my boy Delane Isaac. He has a lot of experience with travel. The young brother has done a lot of traveling and to a variety of countries, and I appreciate that about him because he's not just stuck on one country like a lot of these guys are at the moment. I'm not shaming them, but it's like, come on, bro. The world's bigger than just Brazil, or the world's bigger than just DR. So, and also Delane travels to other countries in general. He doesn't just stick to what we would call third world countries or Latin America. The dude is hitting up Europe. He's hitting up Spain, like Sweden, Switzerland, Amsterdam, all that stuff, as well as Latin America, Brazil, Costa Rica. So, shout out to him. Check his channel out, No Reservations. He just kind of got a newer channel because he was doing, one before that was doing really well, but he decided to go off and do his own thing, and that's No Reservations. So also the homie Grover from Tip Network, had him come on because he's damn near in his 50s and he's been traveling since he was a young boy. Since the 90s he's been traveling. So that was a different perspective. There's a little bit more wisdom on it because he's not like a young guy that just discovered a passport. He's been doing it, and he's also married at this point. So he's kind of been around the world and back, right? And then also the young homie Austin Holloman, who's just all over everywhere right now. He's really hot right now. He's trending, getting a lot of traction. So we definitely want to get him on because he's actually one of the reasons why people are having this conversation a lot right at this moment. It's not a new conversation, but he's one of the reasons why people are focusing on it right at this moment. And he's pissing a lot of women off. A lot of women in America, primarily black women, are getting pissed off because he is I think, being more animate than most with his message. It's extremely direct. It's just get your passport, never date American women again, and just that sentiment alone is going viral right now. You know what I mean? So got him on it too. All right, guys. So I'm gonna share it with you. For those who obviously don't follow Chantel Simone's channel, and if you want to go over there and check her out, like I said, she's having a lot of these conversations from an honest female standpoint, and she's trying to get women to wake up and think logically. That's like her main thing, is let's think about this logically. So shout out to the sis. If you want to go check out her channel, go do that. But I am going to go ahead and share it with you guys right here. Shout out to Austin. Go follow his channel. Obviously, the Tip Network. I'm always telling you guys, go sub to the Tip Network. And then, of course, go support Delane, because he's just now starting this new channel. So go give him some support. And his channel is just basically about hearing from the locals themselves and letting them tell you about their culture and how they view Americans come in and how they view dating and all that kind of good stuff. So that's a breath of fresh air in that sense. It's a very positive channel. And I'm going to do 2 parts to this because it's about an hour long. So I'm going to split it up 30-something minutes and 30-something minutes. So here goes part 1, y'all. We out.
And we have guests. We have our guests on the panel. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
What's up? What's up?
I'm hearing some feedback, so I'm going to be muting you guys. So as one person talk, everybody else just mute. All right. So I introduce myself. I'm Chantel. I use my channel to have these uncommon conversation. We'll start with you, Austin. If you don't mind introducing yourself and just telling us what your channel is about, and just your take on this whole Passport Bros movement.
I'm Austin Holloman from Dallas, Texas. My channel is to inform men that there are way more options than dating here in the United States, and that you have to run to the post office right now and get your passport.
I hear you. Thank you so much for joining us this conversation. You see Lucky in the chat already starting up some drama. I'm gonna just go ahead and start all of Lucky's comments, and we can get back to it later. Ayinde, go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
All right, what's up, fam? This is Allende from Authentic Alphas, and my channel is basically just everything with an alpha mindset. We want men to be bigger, better, stronger, smarter out here, so that's what that's about.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Grover, we'll go to you. Oh, Grover left. Okay, we'll go to No Reservation real quick.
All right, so my name is Delane Isaac. I'm from No Reservations, and my channel is to encourage men to travel the world. And I like to talk about culture, break down myths, and talk with the actual locals in these particular places across the world, and give them a platform to talk about what's going on in the local communities.
All right, thank you so much, Grover. We'll go back to you.
Okay. Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. My name is Grover from the Tip Network. We specialize in helping men in particular, but people in general, to level themselves up. And we also specialize in a little sarcasm. So definitely very happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much. We're going to have a conversation. And as I said backstage, I'm going to approach a conversation from devil's advocate point of view, right? A lot of women have been pushing back on you guys because you guys promote and advocate for men to basically get their passport, travel so they can find, and shout out to Kevin Samuels, fit, feminine, and friendly, right? Women who are more traditional minded. But a lot of the bitter broads, as we call them over here, are mad at you guys and are pushing back, shaming you guys for doing that. So I'm gonna come from that perspective. So if there's anybody new here in my chat and who's not familiar with me, don't stone me when I'm asking the questions. All right, just let's calm down and put our emotions to the side. Shout out to Andre, a passport bro, one of my favorite passport bros. Thank you so much for being in here and supporting. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button, and everybody on the panel channel is tagged. So go over and subscribe if you support men going where they are appreciated, and respected. Shout out to you, Confessions and Therapy, for your support. Says, salute y'all. Hashtag it's that bad. Shout out to you. Where is it? There.
You got money. He got money.
Let's start with the it's that bad hashtag, since Confessions and Therapy brought it up. I want to say, Austin, that's your hashtag, right? That's your tagline?
Yes.
Right? All right. If you want to go in details, just like where did it come from and what is that bad? What does this mean?
Well, I first heard it on Fox News, and they were describing the political climate we're in now. And I heard him say it's that bad when he was talking about the president. I was like, that's really good. I'm going to use that one again. And it perfectly describes what we have right here in the United States. It's that bad.
What exactly is that bad?
Well, just the entire country is a circus right now when it comes to dating. It's pretty much just to me, if you ask me, it's quite useless once you get exposed to dating overseas.
So you say dating in the United States is quite useless?
Yeah, it's more stress than it is peace.
Yeah, going more details. Like, what's stressful about it?
It's a validation fest for women. Everybody's an expert video game player. It's anything that I can elaborate on any point that you want to give me that's bad.
And for the other guys on the panel, would you say that's your experience too?
Yes. Oh, everything I talk about is from experience.
No, the other guys, like you guys experience dating being that bad too, like Authentic Alpha. How is dating for you?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Chantel, when you ask the questions, just point it to me. Point it to us by name so that we don't talk over each other since there's so many people. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm the type of person where I don't care what the environment is, I'm gonna get mine. You know what I mean? When it's slow at work, I'm gonna be one of the few people that's figuring out how to still get money. When it's difficult to talk to the women, I'm gonna be one of the few people that's still gonna pull the attractive women that I'm interested in. So for me personally, I'm gonna find a way regardless to hurdle. But with that being said, I'm still very aware of the difficulty for what we could call the average guy. And to be honest with you, the average guy just is not, he doesn't have a shot in this market. Like, it's impossible. He can't compete with social media. I mean, he can't compete with the sugar daddies. He can't compete with feminism. He can't compete with the bad influence friends. So it's just like men are outnumbered as far as the influence on women right now. The thing that influences women the least right now is guys. Like, our say-so means nothing to them. So I support Austin in his suggestion to guys to just get out of here. Because to be honest with you, I've been saying it for 2 decades now. So I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm 40 years old. I've been saying it since I was 20, because fortunately I traveled my entire life. So this is not new to me, that the experiences with not only women, but just friendship, just the relationships in general tend to be better outside of the US, in my opinion.
But okay, so can't one say then it's you men need to step your game up? You men are attracting women who just don't you guys aren't assertive enough. So you're not attracting women who you can lead. You guys aren't good leaders.
Grover, you want to get this one, or
you're mute, Grover? Okay.
Yeah, I would absolutely love it, because I'm probably one of the only guys on a panel who's married to somebody currently. So I'll say that it's not so much that we can't step our game up to lead, but you can't, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And I'm not calling women horses, but what I'm saying is that if you step up and you're doing everything you should do to lead, and your lead isn't taken, then the frustration ensues. And also, I don't think any man wants to bang his head against the wall in the world, go into the world and fight all the way to get home, and then we get home and have another fight. I can't imagine anybody wanting to do that. And these are not the things that my grandparents, who were married for over 60 years, and that I seen in my aunt, my uncles were married 49 years, and even my parents, they didn't go through that type of war. And so I really understand why a gentleman like Mr. Holloman is advocating how he's get his passport. Hey, I had my passport in the late 80s. First place I went was in 1992, and I was gone for a whole summer in Japan. I understand, because not only is there an enhancement of a different world, but what you find out there is that people take your lead because they recognize the qualities instantly and it's up to you to. I mean, sometimes I guess other gentlemen could say sometimes you're fighting them off because they want to take your lead that bad.
But okay, and I
Mhm.
hear that. So is it that then the women in countries, because we're going to use Brazil, right? Because Brazil is where everybody on the panel is like that's a common country, right? That's what I hear you guys saying. Anyways,
Well,
we're gonna.
I'm sorry. I
Is it
actually spent most of my time in Southeast Asia because I lived over there.
okay?
But I've been to Brazil before.
So we're gonna use Brazil. Is it
Mhm.
that the women in Brazil just aren't as well, it's what I'm saying, they're weaker than the women here because you guys can't you guys couldn't find a woman here because the woman here intimidates you. So is it that the women in Brazil are just pushovers? That's why you guys
You've
are
never
getting
spoken to a
to,
Brazilian woman.
because the
Absolutely
women
not.
in Brazil, the women in those countries, they tend to just be yes girls. They tend to be pick-me's. So is it that you
Definitely
guys
not.
are just intimidated by the women here? That's why?
No.
Grover's married to a woman here, and
Yeah.
my girlfriend is also here. And
Yeah.
I was
Mm-hmm.
married prior to that to a
Right.
Canadian woman, which is another Western country. My first
Right.
girlfriend was from England. So it's absolutely not what we can't handle. It's what we're willing to deal with and put up
Yeah.
with. Because some brothers have more options than others. And why would you pick your most stressful option? It's just, that's
Right.
asinine.
And also, if I could tack on to this, I mean, you said something about strong and they're too strong at home. Well, I mean, I think that strength manifests itself in different ways. My grandmother, at her time of her death, we surrounded her, and there was like, I mean, I've showed a Hyundai pictures of my family in Houston. We got like 350 people who came from my great grands and other people like that. That's strength. Strength is to raise a family, and I think that we've gotten away from that in this country. And and for people who don't want to be married, that's absolutely fine. But people who do want to go somewhere and grow old, I'm probably a little further along than some of you young fine gentlemen and yourself, Miss Simone. I think that it's just very important to understand where strength manifests itself. And I think that in the West, we have a different and a perverted idea of what strength actually is and what backbone actually is and what it looks like. And then when we go and we're actually faced with this at men, it's like, listen, why am I going to go through all of that when the solution is a passport and a plane right away? I mean, men are problem solvers.
Exactly.
And so I'm looking at men on this panel who's found ways, one way or the other, whether foreign or domestic, to solve a problem that they had. And I also want to say, yes, it was that bad when I'm almost 50 years old. It was that bad when I was 18. So it is that bad,
But and I'm going to go to Austin with this one because I saw a video you did when you said that what was it? Gosh, I thought you were basically talking about the 5 things that you get from a traditional girlfriend, right? And one of them was that she texts you throughout the day to check up on you to see if you and you even said she was asking if you drink enough water. You're drinking enough water.
Mhm.
Is it that then you guys just want a mama? You want somebody to treat you to mama you?
No, we want somebody that puts in effort.
Okay, so going details with that. Like what's the effort and why can't the effort that woman over here in the West, the effort that we put in, why is that not enough for you?
Well, I want somebody to tell me what effort you think an American woman puts in. There is no effort that's being given here. That's why it's so mind blowing when you go overseas and somebody is willing to cook, iron your clothes, wash your clothes, clean the Airbnb you're staying in, and they could say, "Oh, she's just running game." Well, what game are you running? You don't
But
do
you're looking
anything.
for a maid. So then you're looking for a maid.
No,
Well,
I mean, Chantal, can I jump in on that one?
Mhm.
Listen, I mean, I grew up with an old school influence. I grew up just like Grover in the sense of watching my elders, watching my aunts and my uncles and their relationship, my grandparents' relationship on both sides. My father died. He didn't leave my mother, nor did my mother leave him. There was no child support in my family. Nobody was being drugged to court for no child support. The women weren't combative. They weren't rebellious. And what I want to say is, I think one of the biggest misunderstandings we're having in this country, not only so much in the Black community, but it's an American thing, is that our media and our culture has a habit of ill-defining words. We don't define words correctly. So in the Black community, keeping it real is ignorance. It's being late and thinking that that's acceptable in the Black community. It's colored people's time. Why are we making up excuses? You're late, you're late. That's unprofessional. The women think that a man that is leading is controlling. It's two completely different words. They think that maintaining their home and raising their children and dedicating themselves to their family is slavery. So these are all words that are misdefined. And I think that's the issue. Now, what Austin is describing is not a nanny, it's not a maid, it's someone that's concerned about your welfare, your health, your mood, your emotional state. I would often ask my married friends, just randomly, when's the last time that your wife said, hey, baby, I'm out at Walmart or wherever, do you need something? And astoundingly, they all said never. And what does that tell you when your wife is not even constantly making sure that the little things that would distract you or slip your mind are taken care of? I mean, that's the strongest, one of the strongest things a woman can contribute to her man is being a type of assistant, not assistant in the sense of a slave, but just you're my helpmate and we have a mission, we have a goal, we're trying to accomplish something together and raise our quality of life and give our children something better than what we had, and what we had should have been good. Like a lot of these women don't even know what it looks like because they didn't grow up in a two-parent household. And I realized at a certain age, I was fortunate to have those role models.
But we got to keep in mind too that it's current days. And let me get out of character for those of y'all who new to my channel and don't know I'm playing devil's advocate. So calm down, stop stoning me, because we can't just sit in an echo chamber over here. I am trying to challenge you guys' point. I personally support you guys for going where you are respected. But there are a lot of women, these long titty broads popping up on YouTube, social media, TikTok, very upset that you guys are traveling overseas, and they're shaming, insulting, guilting you. So for those of y'all who are new to my channel, welcome. Lucky was who's I wanted to join the panel, but she had to work. She said it must be you guys' location why you aren't finding traditional minded women who want to clean up your Airbnb and cook your food and rub your back. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I found one. And my wife is it's just funny because the wife checks on me, she's not Walmart, but the Costco. And she's like, hey, what do you need from Costco? What do you have going on? There's certain things that is just understood in our relationship. So it's not like I couldn't find it in the United States, right? I did find a woman from Oaxaca, Mexico in the United States and found her there. So, I mean, I think that's probably different, but just the idea that she'll say like, hey babe, when I'm down at the other spot, I'm going to go there. What do you need me to bring? And when we're here, and what do you need me to do? And also like, hey, I just, like every time she gets off of work, she just leaves me a text. Hey, I'm off work. Everything was good. I'm going home. It's not because I'm controlling. It's not because it's slavery. It's because how can somebody be protected by me if I don't know what's going on? I need to be intricate in her life to make sure that things are going correctly in my own way. And we agreed to that already, that I have her location, that I know what she's doing, that we understand each other, and certain things like, hey man, she checks on me like, hey, when you go to the gym, make sure you bring enough water. I mean, it's just a thing. So we have a good relationship like that. I don't believe that it's the location, but I will tell you this. Everybody tells me I'm one of the luckiest men alive. But I lived out of the country for 2 years, and for what I can get lucky with here, and I'm not a saint, and I'm not Denzel Washington, right? But I'll show you how old I am. Denzel Washington, an old man now, but I'm not a saint. I'm not that person, right? But what I am is I'm a solid individual with morals and integrity. But I found that when I was living in Thailand, that was a dime a dozen. That treatment was a dime a dozen. The treatment was a dime a dozen. When I lived in the Philippines, that treatment was a dime a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I think that all of these people are, you kill me with when you put up the long titty broads, by the way, man, you break me down. I'm trying, man, I'm over here. I'm over here trying to keep it together. If you see my channel, we do nothing but crack jokes about stuff all day. And I'm over here. I put on my Henley. I'm trying to be professional. And then you hit me with that. But what I'm saying is that why would if you had to go, and let's just treat it like a marketplace. Let's just be logical human beings. If you had to go to the market, in order to get something from the market, you had to go through through a Columbine, and you had to do this and that and this and that to find the one thing that you needed, and there's 30 other dudes fighting over that one thing, and you gotta elbow people and leg kick them and take them down, and damn near suplex somebody to get it, or you go to a place where you could just pick the fruit right away. What are you gonna do? Right. I mean, it's not laziness, it's logic, and men are problem solvers in logic. We're logic-driven beings.
So what I'm hearing, and I want to go to No Reservation because I haven't heard his voice yet. What I'm hearing is that you guys are basically saying women are the problem.
Nah. Let Delane go, and I got something for that. Go ahead,
Delane, go ahead.
First of all, I want to apologize. My internet keeps cutting out. I'm in a spotty area. I'm driving up North Jersey. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so the reason why I started traveling is because when I moved to New York City, one of the biggest reasons that drew me to the city is the fact that it was a melting pot with different cultures. So when I started discovering countries like Brazil, before I even discovered those places, I started meeting people from different parts of the world, because New York is a culmination of people with different cultures, backgrounds, ethnicities, and I just felt a different warmth from those people. The way they accepted me in their culture, like the Swedish people I bumped into, the Brazilian people I bumped into, it piqued my curiosity, and I was like, "Whoa, they're treating me a different way, than my fellow locals or my fellow Americans." And I had this curiosity. I needed to scratch that itch, and I started traveling, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is really what it is. It's not just a fluke, it's not like a thing in the water." So when I started traveling to these different countries, we were on the topic of Brazil, I started meeting the women. Most oftentimes than not, when I see a really pretty girl, a very attractive woman in New York, I put my guard up a little bit because I expect them to have a guard. But when I went to Brazil and I would go on a date with a very attractive woman, she had no guard up, and it disarmed me, because I had this cultural mindset of, I'm in New York, I don't really know what I'm about to get into. So I had a big culture shock. So when I came back to the States, I was like, whoa, that's different. So I do advocate for Austin. I do believe in his message, because I started to realize there's a lot of men that feel that way. And I have a different experience. I have different reasons for traveling, right? But I also agree with Austin. But I'm also coming from, I do enjoy the States, but also I am not naive that this is what's going on in the dating market.
What would you guys' thoughts to women who are who have shaming language towards you guys?
I think it's coming from a place of ignorance, right? So when I come to Brazil, right? When I go to Brazil and they say, "Oh, the women are easy," or "the women are pushovers," and I ask them, "Okay, well, have you ever been to Brazil?" No.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And secondly, when you get there and you talk to a woman there, they're not pushovers. Latin women are not pushovers.
Exactly.
Anybody that knows, you're not going to go over there and just be like, "I'm a king. You do what I want, do what I say." You go over there and you show respect. You know what I mean? I like to go over there and I like to represent as a black man, as a black American man. I'm educated, I'm intelligent, I have respect for all types of women. And that's not the way it is.
If I may tack on to that, what the gentleman just said, if you don't stay in your masculine frame, you will not be able to get a woman in Latin America. They appreciate men. They appreciate men who are manly. And take it from a guy who's done combat sports, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, fought professionally, traveled the world. I'm telling you something. This is one of the only places I've ever been that women expect men to have emotions and act like women. It's amazing. And also, if I want to answer the question about the shaming language that you said, Miss Simone, In 1993, for the first time, I was playing in a jazz band, and I went to Japan. Excuse me, 92. I was 18 years old. I was excited. I spent an entire summer in Japan playing jazz music. Young kid, and guess what? All of the women who knew I was going said, "Oh, you're just gonna go over there and get you some little Japanese girl who's gonna do whatever you say." This is 92, right? Clinton was in office. This is not like so. What Mr. Hollerman is going through is nothing new. It's going to happen because whenever you open up that competition, hit dogs will holler. Nobody likes competition if you can't compete. And they know, these men start saying, wait. They can go and do better, and it doesn't take that much. And so,
Absolutely
I'm not going to act like I was a super innocent kid in 92, but I was on a whole different mission. I wasn't even thinking about women. I discovered women when I got there, but I was on a whole different mission. So that's what I want to say about shaming language is that it's nothing new. And men get shamed for their preferences in the United States all the time. I mean, heck, if we don't think Lizzo is attractive, we get called fat phobia. Lizzo. And I ain't clowning the big girls, but Lizzo, I gotta like her. That's not.
Why do y'all think that you guys get so much pushback? Like, let me highlight Lucky's comment that exactly, LOL, those women want good American men, not you dusties. Why do y'all think that? And I see this comment a lot. Sis, I don't know if you're playing, but we see this comment a lot. Why do you guys think you guys get so much pushback and
Chantel, tap me in. Let me get on this. Okay. This is the thing. First of all, in the Black community, we have an issue with lowered expectations.
Mm-hmm.
We have the bar is set extremely low. Then on top of that, we've been conditioned to aspire to be the wrong characters in our communities. You got the young boys looking up to dope dealers and pimps and so on, and you got the women chasing this European fashion. They want to twerk. They want to have this attitude that the Nicki Minaj and the Cardi B's have. And what happens is they select a certain type of guy. So the guys in the community either trying to be that guy or they are that guy. Now, what happens in the Black community, and I dare somebody to try to tell me I'm lying, is that whether you're a good dude, whether you're a dude that's well-spoken, well-traveled, cultured, has some morals and some values that are instilled from family, the women are not appreciating that. They're going to treat you the same way that they treat the so-called dusties. Black women love to sit here and act like there's some type of hierarchy of Black man, and what it is that all of y'all ain't making the cut. That's absolutely untrue. I know very professional Black men. I know Black men that are married. I know Black men that take care of their children, and they're all struggling when they're dealing with Black women. Listen, like I said, I'm 40. So I've had tons of experiences when I'm just looking at guys and saying, damn, you should have just got you a white girl, should have just got you a Spanish girl, should have just got you an Asian girl, because they wouldn't put you through that. And every one of my friends that married a Black woman, and I told them previously what to prepare themselves for, they all are going through it. That's why I decided to get on YouTube, because I've always been that dude giving advice, giving a different perspective. I got it from my grandfather. I watched my grandfather try to tell all the women in my family, do not prioritize your career. You have to focus on marriage. And I'm just going to throw a little gem in there for the women, and they can go ahead and ignore me if they want, but this is the way the world works. A lot of these women are conditioned to go to college, go get their education, focus on their career. Let me stop you right there. When women are going to college, they should have three main things on their mind. And unfortunately, contrary to their belief, getting that degree is not number one. It's number three. The number one thing they should be doing there is vetting and scouting for a future husband. That's the number one thing they should be doing in college. The second thing they should be doing in college is building relationships with other women that are going to be on their level intellectually and value-wise, that are going to be lifelong friends. The third thing they should be doing is getting an education in that degree. Now, these women are struggling to find quality men because if they did go to college or law school or whatever, they missed that window when that level of quality man was going to be congested. Where else in life are you going to be have so much of a density of professional, intelligent people that are prosperous, that are going to have a good future and a good career? So once they get out of that environment, now it's harder to find a man. They're getting older. As they make more money, it gets harder because you're pricing yourself out of the market. Whereas for men, everything I just described is reverse. When they get out of school, they actually have more options to find a woman because they're going to be less Hasidity, they're going to be less demanding and difficult and have less requirements. Okay. And as they get older, they're obviously going to make more money and become more mature. And when you travel, what happens is the black man is actually sought after. And the black men that do move around happen to be the ones that are well spoken, happen to be the ones that speak a second language, happen to be the ones that are professional and earn good money. So what happens is there's kind of a filtering process going on. And the dusties that you're describing, those them niggas that don't even got a passport. Okay. So the women shaming us or using shaming language is just laziness. It's lazy
The thing
intellectually.
they only can focus on the dusties because that's all they attract. Austin, let's go to you, because earlier you had said that it was your personal experience, right? And so you said that your personal experience in dating, we're going to say Western women, feminist. Their personal experience in dating these feminists haven't been a good one, so you decided to go overseas. What were some of your experiences? And then we can go to everybody on the panel to share your experiences. Like what did you experience with these feminists?
Well, with the so-called feminist, I had a chick. I was 20 years old, and I knew this was rare. She was living with me. I paid 100% of everything from groceries to rent, electricity, and there was no cooperation at all, no appreciation for that. And you know, I know that's, I'm not gonna say I know my worth. That's cliche to me, but that is not common for a 20-year-old to be able to do that. And she still downplayed.
So you wanted her to suck your toes because you were paying the little bills? Like, what do you mean there is no?
I should have been entitled to that, yeah. But I mean, if I
what do you mean there was no appreciation? Like, what do you mean there were no appreciation?
Well, being uncooperative and being naggy all the time is being unappreciative as well.
So, like, what wasn't she cooperating with? Like,
I was constantly accused of cheating, not doing enough when I did a lot, you know. But I was in school and working full time, cutting hair at the same time. So I mean, I don't have that much time. But went to South America and it was completely understood.
Look, I'm gonna stick with you because I know you did a video that said you'll never, ever, 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 ever date an American or a feminist mindset, a feminist chick, a Western-minded chick. But we're gonna bring in the point where they're unmarried pick-me's in the States, and you know what a pick-me is? A woman who basically submits, right? Wait. First of all, before we get into that, remember that question, and I'll ask all of y'all. But if you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button. Shout out to everybody who's in here. We have 313 people watching. We have 151 likes, I think. So go ahead and hit that like button real quick. Where is she?
Man, this is some bullshit.
Although I low-key think you guys like that video, but go ahead and hit the like button. Golden Child 325 had said fatphobia is a term used for women and for women that don't want to compete. Notice there's no body positivity for men. Short or fat get no play. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for your support. And Gulfside had said authentic alpha are spitting straight facts. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting.
You got money. He got money.
All right, let's go back to that whole unmarried pick me, because you say you'll never, ever, ever date an American chick. And I don't want the FBAs come for my neck. We're talking about just Western feminist-minded women. But they're unmarried pick me's out in these streets. So what are your thoughts on that?
Elaborate more. Like, what do I think about the women that are pick-me's in the United States?
Yeah, the women who are pick-me's who, in America, unmarried pick-me's in America.
What about them?
Dang. If a lot of men are saying that they'll never like
But Chantel, that's not the women though. That's not about the women. That's about the environment. You know what I mean?
You say women in the United States. Austin looks turning to Stevie Wonder.
Austin said, "What about that?"
No, you know, Austin's in that phase, man. I know Grover was there. I was there too when American women couldn't tell me nothing, man. Like I didn't even want to conversate with them. They were invisible. I was just saving up for my next trip somewhere else. I'll be honest with you, man. The money goes so much further, so much more appreciation. You're not gonna waste your time with American women once you start traveling. You're just not, because of the contrast.
You mean to tell me that?
Well,
you mean to tell me if you cross path with a pick-me?
I want to answer your question about the pick-me's. It goes back to that analogy of going and having to run a gauntlet to get that fresh piece of fruit. Like, you know, the bottom line is that, you know, we give women a lot of credit for their past trauma, and women don't give men any credit for, you know, just banging their head against a brick wall repeatedly until they say, wait, we ain't gonna do this no more. And so I think that it's a little illogical to think that we're going to look for that person, that one person, that diamond in the rough, and search so hard, because they might be a chameleon, and, you know, posing as a pick me, when we can go and get something that's more genuine and more to our liking. And also, I'll tell you this, you know, competition is okay, but you got to have something worth competing for. And a lot of these attitudes that we get, especially nowadays, I feel sorry for some of you young cats, because I just see it progressively getting a little worse. You know, I'm starting to sound like the old dudes of my family, but it's just, you know, the tide's going the wrong way. So I definitely think that, you know, to your question about the pick-me's, I would say, like, you can't expect people to have to search for that diamond in the rough. You know, that's illogical.
So it's a situation where it's like they're in abundance in other countries. So your chances of finding 1 or 10 in another country as opposed to finding one here. So you're not even going to bother waste your time looking.
You wouldn't look for a diamond in a pile of crap.
Chantel, I want to differentiate something real quick, because I think this is something that guys understand a little bit better than women, typically speaking. There's a difference between will and ability, okay? Just because you want to be a mother doesn't mean you have the skill set to be a mother. Just because you want to be married doesn't mean you have the skill set to be a wife. So what you have is you have some women that are using some logic and realizing, you know what? All of this feminist, independent, I don't need no man shit, it ain't working out for nobody. I don't want it. It's not going to make me happy. I do want a man to support me and help me. I do want a healthy relationship, you know, so on and so forth. But here's the thing, though. She was not raised to be a wife. So although she does see how that would be a better choice, I can't just choose to be a doctor because I feel like it. I have to be qualified to be a doctor. You know what I mean? I can't just go tell somebody, open up their mouth, let me work on your teeth, because I feel like being a dentist today. I would have had to have went to dental school. So what happens is when you go to these other countries, not only are the women that want to be girlfriends and wives in abundance, but women that were raised to be girlfriends and wives is in abundance. They have the skill set. Now, the next thing I want to, you know, clarify is that regardless of how good or sweet a woman is or says she wants to be, the environment is still poisonous. So if you have something on your plate that's good for you, it's healthy or whatever, but everything else on your plate is poisonous, you're eating that meal altogether. Your ass gonna throw up and have food poisoning. But there was something on that plate that was clean and good for you or whatever, but everything else you ate was poisonous. So you can go marry this woman that says, I want to be your wife and blah, blah, blah. But once she gets emotional, everything in her environment is going to be telling her, take them to the divorce court, take them to family court, take this, take that. You deserve better. Why are you cooking for him? Why are you cleaning for him? Why are you doing what you're told? If you were upset, why didn't you tell everybody you was upset? Why are you waiting till you get home to air your dirty laundry? Embarrass him in front of everybody, girl. So what happens is,
but I gotta push back with that logic, though. I gotta push back on that logic, because what you're telling me is, like, someone like myself or someone like Lucky Marie, who is born in America, who is American. You're telling us that because we were born here, or we were born in this culture, then there's no hope for us.
What I'm telling you is that this is my opinion. You know, guys can do whatever they want to do. That's not what this is about. That's another thing that's different between male advice and female advice. Females are tearing you apart just because you're trying to be neutral and non-biased, just because you're trying to think logically and say what's best for both females and men, or even what's best for females. Other women are going to tear you apart because you're not in the echo chamber and saying what they're comfortable with, and you're challenging them to change, grow, improve, and better, and get better results. So they're going to tear you apart. But guys, We're more like, listen, whatever works for you. But in my personal opinion and my experience, because I was married and I was married in America, I wouldn't recommend that anybody sign no marriage contract in America, because it's not so much the woman, it's the environment. It's not what she is guaranteed to do or what she wants to do. It's what she can do at any moment. So what happens is it's like a house of cards. Relationships in America are like a house of cards, okay? It's like dominoes. You set everything up real gentle, real nice. You're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, okay? You have a plan, you have a vision, you're doing everything, you're working hard, you're setting everything up, you're committed and dedicated to this life, this family, this woman. And then if she so much as changes her mind, has a bad day, decides that she's not happy, those dominoes are all knocking down. Those cards are all coming down. You're losing your house, you're losing your car, you're losing your friends, you're losing your family, you're losing your kids, you're losing everything, because this country not only allows it, it encourages it. So sorry, it's too dangerous. And women, they take everything personal. They think, oh, he don't want to marry me. It's not you, baby. I don't want to marry in America. So I hear what you're saying, but your friends, are they all talking the same? Your sisters, your female cousins, your aunties, are they all talking the same? Your lawyer, is she talking the same? The judge, is he talking the same? No, they all talking about destroy that motherfucker, take all his stuff, okay, and take his kids too. That's what everyone else is saying.
So then should a unmarried pick me move?
I don't know what to do. My channel is Authentic Alphas. My channel is Authentic Alphas. I'm here for men. I give women some game here and there, but I'm invested in what's best for men. And men, we have the clock on our side. We have time. You can go ahead and make some mistakes, and you can still pull yourself up, get a passport, do what you got to do. And that's why there's always a caveat with that passport advice. Don't go fall in love and bring one of them chicks here. Because once you bring her here, it's, I want half, Eddie. I want half.